All right, so here is my glue stick. And a couple things I want to make sure that you remember to do. You don't need to roll a whole bunch out. If you roll a bunch of glue out of here and then you try to use it, you could break it off. And that just ends up going in the trash. So you want to try to keep it low. So not so low that you're hitting the plastic on the sides, because we are going to need a pretty good amount. But it's better to use a good amount of glue and then check it and then see, do I need to roll it up just a little bit more? So when we're putting ours together, all we got to do is sit them out. And they'll fit together. I just got to find a part where two folds are. So there's one right there. And I'm just using the downward fold. No big deal. I don't have to measure it or anything. And I'm going to go ahead and glue those two folds together. So I'll go ahead and glue on this bottom piece where I want it to stick. Whoops. And I went over it with my glue stick a little hard. So this might mean that I'll need to smush it back up and make sure that my lines are nice and tight again, nice and crisp. So then I'm just going to lay this on top so that the two folds will meet each other where I folded them, and I'll just go ahead and smash that on down there. And we've got to give this some time. So I want to finger press and make sure that the glue is contact on both sides, and if I can pick it up and they've stayed together, then I know I've got a good amount of glue on there. So this definitely is going to need to be refolded so it'll be nice and crisp again. Nice clean fold. I'm going to go ahead and put this whole thing back together, and I'll just make sure that my sides are pushed down, and then I can open it back up and I should be good. But it's still kind of touchy, so I want to leave this alone and let this dry. As a matter of fact, I can even see it might even need a little bit more glue. I'll worry about that if I think it needs it when I start to color this piece. Then I'll go ahead and connect my next piece. Now this one had a little leftover piece. That's still fine to connect your pieces. So I'll go ahead and take this one here, and this would fit right in there. So if you're looking at it from this direction, there's that little piece, and I'm just going to go ahead and keep going with it. So like it's all one piece. And I'll go ahead and put some glue on the bottom part where I want it to stick. And then I'm putting on probably more glue than I need to, but I really do want it to stay on there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get my edges. Not pushing hard. You can see I haven't even touched my glue stick much at all, and I'm not pushing really hard. I want to be gentle with the glue, but I want to use a good amount. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on top of the other fold. And I'm going to make sure that they match up when I look at them this way, the way that I had them folded. There we go. I'll just fold it on back down. And I can even smash it this way if I want to. So all we want to do is make sure that our folds just keep on going, and it looks like it's one piece of paper. So there it is glued. Okay. And it's okay if these aren't perfect either. I can go ahead and fold it back up. And you can see that some of my folds here, if you look at them this direction, they're not all even. They're not all perfect. They're not all the same size. That's okay. I'll just go ahead and flatten it some more and open it back up. This is a good thing too if you're not happy with one of your folds. You can always fix it here and change it a little bit if you would like to change the direction of your fold. Last piece. Okay, this one is actually going in a different direction. My other folds were going down, but this one is going actually kind of up. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that one too. Oh, I see what it is. Yeah, okay. So I'm just looking at it in like it's upside down, but it's not. So I'm going to put this one on the top this time. Then, so either way that yours were, you could have them matching up on the bottom fold. You could have them matching up on the top fold, but all I'm doing is putting my two pieces of paper together like that. And then I'm going to glue that. So I'll definitely smash this fold down, adding the glue. The other good thing about it, using a glue stick, I love white glue, but not for projects like this, because you have to wait it out to let it dry. If this doesn't work out the way that we want, we can still move it a little bit. It dries faster. Just sometimes it doesn't want to stay stuck together. Okay, so this time I'm definitely going to have to smash these down a little bit more to get that fold back. That's okay. So if you're running into that, please don't panic. It's still going to turn out just fine. And I'm going to go ahead and put the cap back on my glue, because I'm not using it right now. And I'm going to, oh, this one came loose a little on this side. You can see it's not exactly right. I'll see if I can fix it, but if I can't, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to go ahead and fold it all back up again. All right, that looks pretty decent. So I'll just fold this whole thing. This is all 4 long strips of paper. And I'll fold this back up and push it flat. And I have this little tiny paper that's sticking out of where I cut it. So I'll push it all flat here and here, both sides. And I'm just going on, or maybe I'll flip it over and do it again too if I want. All right, so what we want to do is color every other one as a red stripe. I'm going to go ahead and get my crayons out. So what that means is you're going to color one red and skip one. And so I'll go ahead and skip this first one, and I'm going to color this one red. So I'm just starting on one side. You can start on the other side if you want. And I'm just going to color on the second one, and I'm going to make it red. You could do this with construction paper, but I didn't want to do anything that was too fancy, because we're not trying to measure these and make these perfectly even. It's going to look great when we open it up, even if we don't use something that is precisely cut. So I think it's more fun and personal to color it in. And when you're doing this, if you like to make swirls and stuff, that would be fine. You just want to work at a pretty decent pace, make your red look nice, because we want to get it done before the end of regular Connect time, so that you can have it to give to a veteran in your life. Veterans Day is all about honoring people who have served in the military. So if you know somebody, or if your parents know somebody that you want to give this to for Veterans Day, that would be wonderful. But you can also just keep it just because it looks nice, so you can keep it if you don't know someone. So I have one that's white and one that's red and one that's white, and then my next one will be red. So that's what we need to do to let that fill that in with color. And while we're doing that, we're letting our glue dry. And when we go across here and we color the red on top of the glue, that will actually help the glue to bond to the paper too. So you don't want to spend too much time filling in your color, but you do want to try to keep it inside of the fold lines that you made. It doesn't need to be perfect. You'd have to get in really close to see if it's not perfect. So white, red, white, red, white, and red. And make another red stripe. And this might actually be easier if you have a smaller crayon with no paper on it, because then you could use the side. But you want to try to do a neat coloring job between your folds of your paper.